So the first question is to Farhana Muna. So Farhana, if you'd like to share with the audience why the issue of mental and emotional health is so important to you, and what is it that you can draw from those experiences to share with the audience worldwide if they too or a loved one may be experiencing this issue? Farhana.
Thank you, Venier. Firstly, please accept my deepest gratitude for creating this space for such a meaningful and much needed conversation around mental health, and incredible gratitude to Nibir and Alexia as well, and everyone else on the panel. They've put an awful lot of preparation and love behind putting it together, and I can definitely see that. So thank you very much for that. For me, mental health, I've learned it the hard way after years and years of denying my own mental health and then paying the price for it in the way my mental illness that started as a teenager when I struggled with depression and anxiety compounded. And because I kept denying my mental health struggles, I kept shaming myself. And unfortunately, the culture and the environment that I was growing up in did exactly the same. What started out as perhaps mild depression and anxiety kept escalating out of sheer neglect and shame that made the problem a lot more worse into full-blown, major depression and anxiety disorder, and then suicide. And my rock bottom came back in 2008 when I just could not cope anymore because I had refused proper treatment given how much shame, both internal and external, that I attached to mental health, because every time I expressed my mental health struggles, I was labeled as crazy, attention-seeking, dramatic, and I was constantly searching, Venier, for this imaginary switch in my head that everyone asked to turn off and just get out of it. But I never found that switch, so I just would get angrier and more frustrated with myself, and ultimately it resulted in me wanting to take my own life multiple times. And I remember my pivotal moment in mental health came, and I'd love to unpack this further throughout the panel, came when, after my last suicide attempt, the attending paramedic on the day was doing, was helping me in the ambulance. And right after it, I was feeling quite ashamed and embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't want to create so much fuss. I'm really embarrassed by all this commotion. And then he took my hand and looked me in the eye and so kindly said, Venier, that Farhana, would you be apologizing for this if you were in this ambulance today, if it was for a heart attack or a broken bone? And that's it. All the years of shame that I had carried just blown off like the dust of an old book cover. So that's when I seriously started treatment and getting the help that I so desperately needed at that time, and life truly turned around. And so now it's become my mission, using my own story, if I can remove the stigma and shame that is attached so wrongly to mental health, which is you have to be a chair or an inanimate object to not have mental health. So if I can use my own story to remove the shame and stigma around it, to inspire other people, to influence them to come and speak up about it, then I would have given a lot of that suffering and pain meaning. I would have transmuted that.